We're going to start off this morning with the Enshrouded Back to the Shroud Update 3 highlights. So this just went live.
Welcome back, Flame.
We're going to watch this whole video here really quick, and then we're going to hop over to the Steam page and read through the update in all of its glory. If you have not played Enshrouded, I would get on it. It is a really fun crafting survival game with a fantasy RPG kick. I've played it here on the channel, not in a little while, but we did do a multiplayer group for about 3 months. Had a lot of fun in it. Saw everything there was to do at the time that we played. And then they've added more stuff since then. Agua coming in for a resubscription over on Twitch for their 4th month in a row. Says keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much for that. For those of you tuning in for the first time today, I am live every day on YouTube and Twitch. Typically we go at 11 a.m. Central Time. I am starting early today because we're doing news first and then a game after. So I'm a couple hours early, I think. What time is it? It's like 9:15 a.m. Yeah, I'm a little bit early today because I wanted to do the news first and then we'll move into the gaming. But you never know. Sometimes I go live early. Sometimes I go live in the 8 afternoon. So you'll want to subscribe in both places to get all the updates. And as always, you can support where you want, whether it's on Twitch, like Agua, thank you very much, or if you're over on YouTube, there's memberships and donation options in both places, plus a Patreon. Check it out. Let's watch this trailer and then go check out their Steam page. Let's see what Enshrouded has been up to since the last
Welcome back,
update.
Flameborn. We've got a thrilling new update for Enshrouded, features and improvement based on your feedback. Let's dive into what's new. First up, we're introducing configurable difficulty and gameplay settings that work across all game modes, single player, multiplayer, and dedicated servers.
This is huge. I did not know they were doing this. This is huge. So we've just been talking about this in No Man's Sky, because in Starfield and all the games I play, I like adjustable difficulty. This is great. One of the reasons I love adjustable difficulty in these crafting survival / base building games is that when I just want to play the RPG component, I can leave the survival settings on and normal. But when I do base building, I really hate having to deal with getting attacked by creatures while I'm also trying to like place something and rotate it and get it on the right height map and adjust the terrain. Like I like having a creative mode for building structures and then the normal difficulty survival mode for when I'm actively adventuring. So this is a huge, huge update for them just with this alone. Relaxed, default, hard, survival, and custom. And then you can adjust all these different components, which is really cool.
You asked for more control, and
Dennis says
delivered.
sleep is overrated.
We've added several
Yeah.
new difficulty presets to customize your experience. The default difficulty remains as the baseline, recommended for the first-time players. The relaxed preset provides fewer, less lethal enemies and increases resource generation, perfect for those who love base building and light-hearted adventuring.
What's up,
The
Babylonia?
hard preset ramps up enemy numbers and aggression for a tougher combat challenge. The survival preset is for players who want a more old-school experience, adding extra survival mechanics and more aggressive enemies.
Looks phenomenal.
Finally, a custom setting where each preset can be freely modified. Crank 1 or all of the 30 game settings up to 11. Mix and match and tailor your adventure.
Oh, that's a lot. You have fallen.
I might have cranked it a little bit too much. Moving on. This is the first implementation of that system, so as always, give it a try and share your feedback with us. Next, we're introducing collection props for
Collection
your base.
props.
Now you can display your equipment like armor pieces and weapons on newly available craftable props, such as the mannequin or weapon stands.
Oh, that's
Swap complete
cool.
armor sets with the press of a button.
So we get weapon racks and armor racks, and you can put the things you found in the game and crafted the game on those racks to display as trophies. Dude. Oh, by the way, I did read something today in the patch notes before when I was scrounging through. Vanity armor's here. So we now have the ability to have customizable vanity armor. I think they're going to talk about that because you can also see over here on the bottom right, it says equip all as vanity. I'm probably getting ahead of myself here.
You can also find collectibles like fossils in the world and display them on decorative shelves, adding a personal touch to your
See,
dwelling.
it's just getting better and
We've
better.
also added 3 new customization options for your player characters: skin complexion, eye color,
Nice.
and eyebrow color. And of course, we've included several quality of life updates to enhance your gameplay experience.
That
Improvements to blocking and
that
parrying with more reliable
blocking and
reaction
parrying.
times and better
Oh, that was
transition
a cool
between
transition
weapons.
to the
A
bow and weapon.
reworked
Oh, hang on.
crafting
He
menu
even said that.
featuring
Hang
bigger
on.
preview images and
Hang on.
easier navigation weapons. Improvements to blocking and parrying with more reliable reaction times and better transition between weapons. A
Better
reworked
transition
crafting menu
between
featuring bigger preview
weapons. I would need to log in and see what that's actually like, because that was one of the things that earlier I was sometimes would get confused because it's all in your hotbar. And sometimes you have multiple hotbars open, one for crafting and survival, one for harvesting, one for combat, and sometimes you get confused which where you're at. So I would love to see what their new armor things look like, or excuse me, what the new weapon transition sequence looks like.
images and easier navigation. Several points of interest throughout the world have been reworked or improved. We've also added a few new locations in Blackmire and Kindle Wastes. And of course, ongoing class balancing based on your valuable feedback.
That's a brand new. That looks like a new skill tree. Opportunity line. Beastmaster, Ranger, Assassin, Trickster, Wizard, Healer, Battle Mage, Tank Warrior, all those are there, but that looks different. Increases the multiplier of the Merciless attack and sneak attack by 100%. Okay, so we've got some new skill tree stuff.
As for the Mage, gameplay changes were made concerning the comfortable usage of wands and staffs, the survivability and their effectiveness in the early game. If you want to find out more, make sure to read the full patch notes. But
We're going to
wait,
read them in a minute.
there is more. We hope you
I
enjoyed these
love
new
it.
features and improvements. We are already working on the next 2 updates and we'll be sharing more on what's next for Enshrouded soon.
Nice.
Until then, happy adventuring and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, let's go take a look at the actual patch notes real quick. Go to the Steam page. Get this open here. They should really link directly to the patch notes from the video, but that's okay. Third update here, new ways to tailor your Enshrouded experience to suit the way you like to play. This one's focused on adding improvement to existing features or quality of life changes, as well as fixes and polish. So we watched the video version of this. So those of you who want to read the full patch notes, come to the Steam page, go to the volume 7.3.0 patch notes update. I am not going to read everything in this patch note. I will put a link to these notes in my video once this goes out as its own thing, pulled out from the stream. But they've got some highlights here. The difficulty default setting is still present as the baseline. Would be recommended for first-time players. They've also got relaxed, hard, survival, and custom with some pretty good explanations in the video of what those look like. They've got another article on the knowledge base on how to set up your own difficulty settings on the server side. They talked about collectible props and showed those off, new character customization options. I wonder how this, see it says for new players. So if you have an existing character, you won't be able to adjust it at the moment. This is just for new player characters. So you can change, there's new skin color options, new eye color options, new eyebrow colors, and 6 new presets, it says. Quality of life balancing. They've reworked the crafting menu to have bigger preview images, easier navigation, several new POIs, improvements to blocking and parrying. It's still a work in progress, and further improvements are planned for the next updates. Class balancing continues to be worked on, taking into account the feedback from the community. For the Mage gameplay, changes were made concerning the comfortable usage of wands and staffs, as well as the survivability and the effectiveness in the early game. That's a very interesting component to me because I did try the Mage very early on and decided I didn't like it because I didn't, the wands felt good, but everything else, the casting felt really weird to me, and there were some targeting issues and everything else. So I'm really interested to see what they've done. It says comfortable usage of wands and staffs. So did they I'm assuming that means they reworked how that um, functions. Dun, dun. Okay, there's a whole bunch of gameplay notes here. Now possible to interact with secret doors while climbing a ladder. Weapons now show the maximum level that can be achieved by upgrading the weapon. updated the XP for leveling up. The beginning of the game should feel similar, but in later regions, the level ups now need slightly more XP. Rework behind the scenes to improve the parry and block features. This was necessary as the mechanics were affected by several subtle yet impactful glitches that could render the experience unreliable, if not frustrating. While a part of the rework itself can be felt on its own, it generally gives the players more control, power, and consistency. The visual indication of the parry windows is still something we are working on, as well as further polishing of anticipation animations for all enemies. That's good to know. So they're continuing to rework animations. Um, they've got the general gameplay changes here. Um, okay. Vortex subtree has been restructured. Absorb, Snap, and Soul Leech are now connected to the Warden skill. Okay. Mage gameplay and fixes physical armor values on mage armor sets have been increased. Increase the projectile speed for Fireball and Ice Bolt to allow, easier hitting of moving targets. Increase the damage of spells that are available in the early game, Ice Bolt and Fireball. Change the functionality of the Light Burst spell, which now has a... Dude, I might need to go back in and create a mage just to check this out. Improve the homing and speed of the healer spell. Projectiles are no longer blocked by walls. Tweaked the martyr spell to provide better support. A new skill is added to Battle Mage subtree called Life Essences. Oh man. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Plus we got building, crafting, and equipment stuff, and a whole bunch of stuff added to the game world. Tech improvements, user interface, and localization. This is a pretty beefy patch, everybody. So for those of you who want to dive into it at your leisure, again, I will have a link to this in the video once this goes out as its own thing on YouTube. So for those of you watching it live on the multi-stream right now, you can just go over to their Steam page and check this out. But if you're watching this after the fact, don't forget, links are down below. It looks like a good update. At some point in the next week or so, I will be getting this installed on the new PC just to check out some of the new changes myself, get some hands-on stuff uh, on the new system. So stay tuned because I'm probably going to go in and specifically check out the Mage stuff to see how that feels because it sounds like they've made a pretty transformational series of changes for the Mage, which is great. The game is pretty freaking amazing. Um, I'm very, very pleased with Enshrouded. Okay, what else did we have here?